The other day, I was scrolling on TikTok. I came across somebody that was very familiar, New Possibilities blog. Now, New Possibilities has been on YouTube for a long time. He's a civil rights attorney based out of Baltimore, Maryland. And as an educated person, a practitioner of the law, he gets invited to a lot of upscale things. He was invited to a party, and when he got there, this happened.
Yeah, so this weekend, I went to an event, and it was for the whole weekend, so it was Saturday and Sunday. It was an all-day event. And while I was there, I noticed something that was kind of odd. Just about every single black man that I saw with their significant other, they were with a white woman. And then I saw at least one gay couple, and it was a black man with a white man. And it just made me think about a lot of things that I've discussed on TikTok and on YouTube, where I've been critical of, people that interracially date, in particular women. And it just made me just think about, the fact that you have these educated, highly successful black men that are choosing to be with white women. And it just makes me ask this question. I have a question for you all, and I want to know, why do you think that is? Why do you think so many black men are just infatuated and captivated by white women?
Now, this is going to be interesting when we're talking about our guy, Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is literally the heartbeat of the Miami Heat. Even though right now they are not getting along. He wants a trade. He's been suspended for conduct detrimental to the team, but he's a hard worker. He's one of the most motivated and hardworking players, maybe even in NBA history, or at least in the last 20 years. But there's a reason why Jimmy Butler is that way.
His father abandoned his family when he was a baby, and at 13 he was homeless.
My mom kicked me out of my house, to tell the truth.
His mother said, "I don't like the look of you. You gotta go." After Butler got into a lot of trouble as a kid, he bounced around for years living on friends' couches before Michelle Lambert, his best friend's mom, took him in. The Lamberts already had 7 children, and that experience changed his life forever. He finally got structure, something he desperately needed in his life. Jimmy was ranked 73rd in high school and was a star at junior college, but he was getting no D1 offers until a dominant season got him on Marquette's radar. He was recruited to the school, and he even sent his letter of intent from a McDonald's. He later became a star at Marquette, later become the 30th pick in the 2011 NBA draft, and the rest is history.
You see, the reason why Jimmy Butler may be the way that he is because of his experience. You see, he grew up in Texas, and his mom kicked him out of the house when he was 13 years old. And see, this white family took him in, or at least a white woman, his best friend's mom took him in. She was the one that basically made sure that he was stable for the rest of his life. And as you know, he went on to college, went on to play for the Bulls, and the rest was history. But when it came to dating and mating, was one thing for sure about Jimmy Butler. He was not interested in black women. That was going to be out of the question. And so when he decided to have kids, he had children with this particular lady by the name of Kaitlin Nowak. And he had 3 kids with her, Riley, Brayan, and Kyan. But of course, as the legendary Roots album would say, things fall apart. And their relationship indeed fell apart. And after it fell apart, he had to pay child support. And he pays a whopping $55,000 in child support. That's damn near $660,000 a year. Now, he does make a lot of money, over $50 million a year, and he does play in Florida, so he's probably not getting taxed on a lot of that money, but it's still a lot of money to basically pay for 3 kids. But stop the show. Kaitlin Nowak, who was 34, is asking for another $10,000 a month for a nanny, which would then bring the total up to $65,000 a month. You see, now Jimmy Butler is very pissed off. He's saying a lady is a bum, and basically she doesn't want to get a job. She doesn't want to do anything. And basically she needs this money for nothing. Now, obviously, when it comes to him, he doesn't really care about that amount because he has the money for sure, but he's upset because He works hard for that money. He plays for that money. She's just sitting there collecting the money from him while not doing any damn thing. And Jimmy Butler don't want to go out like that. But see, this is something that we all got to understand as black men, especially if you black men get to become wealthy. Number one, having access to beautiful women doesn't mean they're going to behave beautifully. You see, just because you have a lot of money and the woman doesn't have a lot of money, it doesn't mean that, oh, well, I don't need to judge her based on the fact that she doesn't have any money. No, I think that's what a lot of guys think. Well, I'm rich, so she doesn't necessarily need to be rich because I have all the cash. That makes sense if you guys can stay together, but what if you make a mistake and you can't stay together? Now, this person who was your confident partner is now your enemy. And what she would like to do, if she possibly can, is make your life a living hell because you're no longer with her. And of course, that money that you're paying will be used for her to date somebody else who doesn't have any money, and we already know what's going to happen. Booty clapping sounds. That's right, ultimate clap sessions are going to be happening on her cheeks, and then most likely it will happen in the house that you are paying for with all of your money. She's most likely not going to get another guy to come in and pay the bills, so you're going to be paying the bills for her cheeks to get clapped by somebody else who most likely can't read or write. Reason number two, just because a woman is white don't mean that she will be right. And this is another thing that I want to talk about to black men. And this is going to sting a little bit because I get it. You know, if you have a bad experience with black women in the past, like if you've been abandoned or if you've had your heart broke, I can understand that some black men can basically, you know, not be attracted to black women anymore. And that will just put you, you know, to white women or whoever else you like. But just because you've been hurt by black women or you've been disappointed, it doesn't mean that somebody of another culture deserves your love or deserves you. That doesn't mean that. And I see it happening a whole lot. I see a lot of black men that have been mistreated by their moms in the past or somebody black. And even in the black community, we have so many talented black men that are just fed up with the black community, black women too. And so they get disheartened by the community and they don't want to deal with the black community at all. And they're missing out on an opportunity because they may be the next entrepreneur or the next owner or the next person that can come in and do some things and basically be an owner in the community. But because they dislike it, they minimize what they can get by dealing with somebody else because that's a white business or some kind of other business. And then, you know, hey, you end up getting the short end of the stick. And I think this is what happened to Jimmy Butler. I think that Jimmy Butler doesn't date black women at all. I could be wrong. But in this case, I think this had a lot to do with the fact that his mom deserted him and then a white woman came in and stepped up in his life, which brought him closer to white women. And I can understand that. But everything that glitters isn't gold. Just like you can get a black baby mama who you can say that doesn't want to work, you can do the same thing with any other race of people, okay? Just because somebody is white or somebody is black or whatever the case is, doesn't mean that that person is great. You still have to establish your standards and not establish your standards based on race or based on, you know, a skin color or culture or anything like that. Anybody can get got, especially in today's world, especially in America. You know, just because somebody is this race, it doesn't mean anything. And you can still get your feelings hurt. They can still want more money from you and you're still not protected. Even if that person wasn't acting like that when you first met them. And this is how a lot of guys get played. When you first meet a lady, you think like, oh yeah, man, she's really down for me. You know, she's not acting like the other groupie chicks and all that. Nah, bruh, she's trying to reel you in. Don't worry about that. She's as shady as you most likely thought. In fact, she's playing the long game. You ain't even about to see what she about to do to you. She's about to do you so shady in these damn streets, you not even going to see it. And that's exactly what she did to him. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.